Alright, so the next sales tactic we're going to be discussing today is going to be pattern interrupt. This is another advanced sales tactic. Essentially what you are doing is if you start to notice that they're in this train of thought that is not favorable to you, you want to interrupt that thought. You don't want them to keep on thinking that thought that isn't going to work out for you. So for example, if you're talking to the wife and she's like, yeah, my husband gets back, he's the one that takes care of everything. I need to make sure he's all filled in before. What she's thinking in her head right now is, I just don't know if I can commit to this because of my husband. I don't want to keep fighting that right now. So what I'm going to do is, because at the end of the day, it's a smoke screen. At the end of the day, if she can get me that bill, then there's no reason why she shouldn't be doing it. If I made it a reasonable man to where it's like, hey, this is something, you're not committing to anything. If I depressurize, if I say, hey, we're just seeing if you qualify, pull back, stuff like that, she should be doing it. So what I need to do is I need to get her to trust me more, trust my company more, trust the product more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pattern interrupt. So I can do this by, let's say she's like, well, to be honest, and I already know she's getting ready to say no. I'd be like, oh, is that like a 49ers jersey you got in the background there? Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't know that. You're a Niners fan? And then she's going to be like, yeah, me and my husband both are. But like, that's so awesome. By chance, do you know who Jerry Rice is? And then they're going to be like, yeah. They're like, oh, well, I actually grew up with his son growing up in Arizona playing football. Now, this is a true story I did, but what I just did right there is I'm taking her off the line, and we're talking about something random, and she's going to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Now, do you think she likes me more? Do you think the rapport was built a little bit better? So you take them off the line yourself to either gather more intelligence or build more rapport, so that when you come back to it, and the inevitable thought, because she still has it in her mind, but this time when I come back to it, my chances have increased. If I realize that my chances aren't good coming into it, I'm going to take myself off the line, build up everything I need to build up, and then this way when we loop back into it, I'm going to have a better chance to do it. So then anyways, now that the rapport is back and she's like, yeah, that's so crazy, awesome. Well, I was like, yeah, anyways, like I was saying, I totally understand. Of course, this is the sort of thing where if you are making the decision, you want to make sure your husband's up to speed as well. The cool part about this and the beauty of my job is, like I was saying, right now we're not looking for that yes or no, just because we don't even know if this is something we can do for you. Essentially, all we're doing right now is just seeing if you guys qualify for something like this. If this is the sort of thing that you do qualify for, we'll just get you back a free custom tailored proposal showing you how the savings would look, and we sit down with both you and the husband. This way we're both up to speed. How does that sound? End it with a reasonable man right there. And then now that she likes me more, she's like, okay, that sounds good. And then she's going to go and get the bill or whatever I need her to do at that moment. Now, if you guys remember back to it, when we spoke about icebreakers, that's another form of pattern interrupt, because again, the bad thoughts in their head. So you remember with perception, when they look out the window and they see somebody, what is he selling? What are you doing on my doorstep? These aren't good thoughts. It's not like they ever look out and they're like, oh my God, there's somebody on my door. I'm going to be his best friend today. No, they're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? And that's why a lot of these homeowners have resistance when we first open the door. Like, can I help you? So what we do is we interrupt that pattern right off the bat. Can I help you? Oh, hey, how's it going? Quick question, I just had to ask, was that your truck out there? Those rims on it are sweet. Like they're custom, right? Yeah, and so now what we're doing is we're not even going into the pitch. Now I took him off the line to develop rapport before I even started with it, because I realized that he was the sort of person where, hey, I shouldn't jump straight into it. I need to make sure that the rapport is built first before getting into the pitch so he doesn't slam the door on me or whatever the case is. Another way that icebreakers is a form of pattern interrupting is if you're knocking more hit-up areas, they've seen a million people come to their door to pitch them something. So what they're doing is the second they open the door and you go straight into it, hey, how's it going? Sorry to bug you. My name's Chase. I'm the area manager out here with APA. We're the ones running the energy report. Another guy pitching me. Like, I'm just going to check out, and then whenever you give me a chance to talk, I'm just going to say not interested. They're not paying attention. But now, if knock, 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 oh, hey, is that your garden right there? That is so lovely. And then they're like, yeah, that is my garden. Thank you so much for asking. Are those roses you got going on? You might have the prettiest house in the entire neighborhood. Oh, thank you so much for that comment. And then I could be something like, yeah, so anyways, while I have you here, my name's Jay. And I go right into the pitch. But this time I built that rapport, so when I am going into the pitch, they're going to be much more receptive to it. Pattern interrupting is huge if you know how to use it, because essentially, like I said, what you are doing is you are taking them off that line, building up what you need to build up before you get back to that inevitable thought you're gonna have to overcome.